What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It's HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video, and welcome to another review for the 31 Days of Horror Challenge in October. We are on now day 26 of the challenge, and I figured I don't know how long this review will take. I mean, what more can I say about this film that hasn't been said before, but I figured I can't believe I'd ever talked about this film yet before when it comes to, like, horror films, and I know a lot of people put it under the horror category, and I do, but maybe some people don't. But I do put it in that category. And I figured I haven't reviewed it for October yet, because maybe I think of this more as like a summer movie, because it was a summer. It was the like first ever summer blockbuster that sort of like gave birth to summer blockbuster hits and like near futures. This is like the first one that ever was like a big summer blockbuster. And you can tell by the title of the video, that review is going to be on Jaws. The original classic 1975 Jaws. Of course, this is the 100th anniversary Universal thing when they first released this. Because I remember, too, a little fun story about this. I remember when this Blu-ray was first coming out. I think this Blu-ray came out in, I think, around 2012. And I remember during one of my trips down for summer vacation down the shore, when I was down the seashore, we were watching I was watching Shark Week for that particular, from like late July to maybe to the early August. That's when usually Shark Week is on. And when Shark Week was on that particular year, they were advertising this film being released on Blu-ray. I think it came out later, like late August, I think it came out on Blu-ray. And I remember Shark Week promoting this big time. Promoting this on Blu-ray. So, I was really excited to see that this film was getting a Blu-ray release. And I love, too, how they have the original cover. I like the original cover they kept. And, of course, it opens up like this. It opens up like this. You get some pictures and things like that. Gives a lot of info about the film. Has a lot of really good special features on there. I mean, they have the Blu-ray exclusive is The Shark Is Still Working, which is a fantastic documentary about making the shark, and of course they have the features from the DVD, like the 2-hour documentary on the making of the movie with interviews with Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss. Deleted scenes and outtakes. I mean, so just a lot. You can find a lot of info about the making of on the first movie on the features alone. But Jaws. I mean, what more can you say about the original classic Jaws that hasn't been said before? I mean, what more can you say? It's basically about the town of Amity Island, and there's a killer great white shark out there that's killing people. And then, of course, you have the chief of police, Chief Brody, Roy Scheider's character, as the chief of the small town on Amity Island, and then how him and two other guys go out hunting for the shark. And of course, the other two guys are Quint, Robert Shaw, and Hooper, Richard Dreyfuss. And because Robert Shaw, Quint he's a shark hunter, and then of course you have Hooper, who's a marine biologist. And the three of them, go out and try to find the shark pretty much. And that's pretty much like the entire, almost third act of the movie. And what more can you say? I mean, one of the things I think really works about this film, too, is not seeing the shark a whole lot. I think that builds like a great amount of tension and suspense of the movie. And it's really mainly about the characters, especially the main three guys, Chief Brody, Quint, and Hooper. And I think all three of them had excellent chemistry with one another. Roy Scheider, I miss Roy Scheider as an actor. Really, very underrated actor. Loved him in 2010, Blue Thunder, even the sequel, Jaws 2. He was really good in that. Of course, a little role that he had in The Punisher with Thomas Jane. Very solid actor. I miss Roy Scheider. Does a great job in this as Brody. Robert Shaw as Quint. Very, very legendary actor, Robert Shaw. Always loved the speech that he gives about the USS Indianapolis when they were on the boat together, and that great speech that he gives. you remember that speech. It's one of the most memorable scenes in the whole movie, and Robert Shaw just easily sold that scene with his acting. So really good scene right there when they're showing each other their scars and things like that. And of course, Richard Dreyfuss as Hooper. I really enjoy Richard Dreyfuss as an actor. Loved him in Stakeout with Emilio Estevez and Close Encounters of the Third Kind and What About Bob and I'm trying to think what else Richard Dreyfuss was in that was really good. He's been in a lot that I really do enjoy. But he does a good job in this as Hooper, and all the back and forth that him and Robert Shaw have together when Hooper is playing cards. He's just playing by himself, and Quint, yells, "Hooper, stop playing with yourself, boy!" I like their back and forth, and apparently I know they hated one another while making it, so kind of builds the great tension between two actors there. And of course, the other cast members in here, you have Lorraine Gary as Ellen Brody. You also have Murray Hamilton as the mayor. And I really do enjoy, and easily the best part of the whole movie is, of course, the whole entire almost third act of the movie when the three men go out on the Orca on the boat to go look for the shark. And you have some great lines. That's where you get some of the most memorable lines in the movie. You're gonna need a bigger boat, and I love that little jump scare that when Roy Scheider, Brody is throwing the chum, like the fish food, into the water. He's like, "Help me come chuck some of this shit," and the shark comes popping out, and it kind of startles Brody. It's a good scene there. And then when they look at the shark, Quint has that great line. He's like, "How long is he?" He's like, 25 and 3 tons of them. Quint is a great character. I love Robert Shaw's Quint. And of course, the whole ending, of course, when the shark just blows up, Roy Scheider, "Smile, you son of a," and kablow, when they have the oxygen tank in his mouth. Of course, Quint's death is always very, very shocking. And I didn't notice this until when I was a kid and all that stuff. I didn't notice it until I was older. But when you see the zoom-in shots of when Brody is trying to shoot the shark because it already has the tank in its mouth, and you can see these little tiny things that are waving in the water that are attached to the shark's teeth. And I didn't realize until now. I'm like, that's Quint's flesh, which is kind of creepy. Because you figure he literally just killed and ate Quint, and all the stuff that's hanging off the teeth is Quint's flesh, which is really creepy. I didn't realize that until when I was a kid, but when I see that when I'm older, I'm like, ooh, that's actually kind of creepy. And for a PG movie, and this was PG back in 1975 with the amount of blood, and you would not see PG movies like this being made nowadays. That's for damn sure. And of course, one of my other favorite parts of the movie is when Hooper goes into the shark cage, and you have that really great looking shot when Jaws just swims right by him, and he's just looking, and it's all dead silent. Then all of a sudden, Jaws just pops out of nowhere and bumps into the cage. And like I said, the characters in this are so amazing. Brody and Quint and Hooper. I think all three actors do their jobs very, very well. You guys some great back and forth with them, especially the three when they're talking about their scars and they're singing this song together, and those great bonding moments with those three characters. Very likable characters. The look of the shark is amazing. It's definitely the best looking shark I've ever seen in a movie, and I really like the animatronics they did on it. When it's bloody, it's bloody. This is a PG movie, and of course you have I think the actor Jeffrey Voorhees plays Alex Kittner, the kid that gets killed, and that's when his mom slaps Brody because of her kid being killed, and which sadly I know that actor, I think Lee Fiorio, passed away last year, sadly, which is a shame. And there was a really fun story where I heard that now Jeffrey Voorhees, who played the kid who gets killed, Alex, he is a owner of this restaurant now, a seafood restaurant in Massachusetts somewhere, and apparently Lee Fieri, who played his mom in the movie, came in to visit him and have a bite to eat. So I thought that was a nice little fun story I heard about the two of them. I mean, but what more can I say about Jaws that hasn't been said before? I mean, and the musical score by John Williams. Yeah, John Williams. I want to make sure I got that right. John Williams' score is amazing. I'd probably say my favorite John Williams score is this movie, especially with the Jaws theme. You know, and you've heard it all before, so I'm not going to try to imitate it. But Jaws, classic. So I really have to talk about that one. So that's pretty much it for my review for Jaws. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.